Hey, what is up YouTube? thyAshes here, bringing you another video, and today I'm going to be comparing, as many people have requested, the differences and similarities between a regular Scuf Infinity controller for the Xbox One and a Scuf Elite controller. Now, I have both controllers here in front of me. I have the Scuf Infinity controller. This is the green wall edition from OpTic Gaming. If you want one of these, make sure to use discount code OpTic at the Scuf Gaming website. Awesome controller. This is what I have been using for the past 4 to 5 months. Today I just got this in. This is my new Scuf Elite controller. It is obviously not directly the OpTic logo and OpTic theme. As you can see, the differences between them. Give you a little bit of a closer look between the two. Little glance at them. But I do have it customized white, black, and green, similar to the OpTic color scheme, except a little bit more predominantly white, obviously. So I just got this in, and I want to do a quick comparison for you guys because I get asked this so much on stream. What's the difference? What controller should I use? What controllers should the pro use? And why these can be beneficial for your gameplay. Now, I do have another video on my channel called something along the lines of why pros use Scufs, or why to use a Scuf, or why play claw, something along those lines, and that video remains true. I'm not going to focus too much on that part, as I am going to focus on the aspect of what actually is the similarities and differences between these two controllers. So first, we're going to talk about the regular OpTic Scuf Infinity controller, or just the Scuf Infinity controller. This is the controller that I have been using. It's lightweight, more close to a normal Xbox controller that comes with an Xbox console. It has paddles on the back, as you can see. They have a straight down, a vertical kind of layout to them. There's 4 of them, and they are remappable. There's actually like a little electromagnetic key that you can use to remap it, but I typically take that off. I take the paddles off. They're attached to the battery compartment, and you can just pull them off pretty simply. I typically do that because I've never been a paddle user. I always just play thumbs, as much as I say that they are beneficial for you to use. They're pretty stiff. They're in a spot where, like, if I'm holding the controller normally, my middle fingers can get these outside ones. That's just the way I hold the controller, but they are pretty stiff to the touch, so you're not going to accidentally press a button or something and mess yourself up. The thumbsticks, they have adjustable heights to them, so you can get various heights. You can actually get them domed and concave. I use the concave Scuf sticks myself, and like I said, these are quick to take off. There's a little key that you can just take this ring right off. They pop right out. D-pad is a standard D-pad. Buttons are standard buttons. Start, select, A, B, Y, X. I have the Scuf grips on them to help myself, when your hands get sweaty and you're playing for a long session, help you just kind of keep a good grip on the controller, keep it where you want it to be. And then I actually use a trigger stop on my right thumbstick, my right trigger. As you can see, this trigger doesn't go down as much as this one does. So my shooting trigger, it just stops a little bit earlier than compared to my aiming trigger. So I can hold this one down like normal, tap this one a lot quicker. It helps when you're shooting a gun that is semi-automatic, like a pistol in Gears of War. And that is a big part of this controller. That's the customization to it. Like I said, this is the OpTic Gaming scheme, and those are the main features of this controller. The bottom of it does have the headphone jack, as well as the normal Xbox jack, and I actually use a chat adapter. So the controller that I have been using, this one right here, you can see I have the chat adapter with my Turtle Beach cable plugged right into it. So that's how I get my game audio, and then use my microphone in Xbox as well as in PC simultaneously. And I have this one schemed out the same way: trigger stop on the right, none on the left, and you can see I've taken the paddles off of the battery hatch. So that is my current setup. Now we're going to switch over and talk about the Elite controller really quick. Like I said, this is the Xbox Elite controller from Scuf Gaming. You can see that the paddle layout is different compared to the Scuf paddle layout. The paddles are no longer vertical, they are horizontal, which, for the way I hold the controller, allows me to have fingers on all the paddles if I want to, which for my preferred grip it just makes it a little bit easier for me. It's more comfortable for me. I haven't used this controller yet. This is just first impressions. The thumbsticks, like regular Elite controllers, they pop right off. They're very easily changeable. On the Scuf website, you can also go in and customize which thumbsticks you want. Concave, dome, tall, medium, short, all of that fun stuff. Now, I will say the first thing you'll notice when picking up an Elite controller from Scuf compared to a regular Infinity controller from Scuf is that the Elite controller has a lot more weight to it. It's just overall feels a lot heavier. It feels like it's more dense, like there's more metal involved in the construction of it, even though I don't really see it on the outside. The back of it is a more matte kind of texture to the plastic, but it does have a denser, heavier feel to it, which in my hands, it actually feels a little bit more comfortable. I like that extra weight in the controller right now, and we'll see how I feel playing with it. Battery hatch is also a little bit different. Take a look inside, just a normal inside for putting your batteries, but they don't have these spots for the paddles, obviously. Now you can get an Scuf Elite controller with the Scuf paddles rather than the Elite paddles, but I wanted to try the other paddles and then teach myself how to paddle, which will be its own YouTube series. So make sure you subscribe down below if you want to see me actually learning how to use paddles after 10+ years of playing with my thumbs. The paddles, like I said, a little bit of a different layout, and I believe that these are changeable within the Xbox itself. You can go in and map any button to any button, so you have all the customization that you would want. And the paddles are also removable, so you can take them off fairly easily. As for trigger stops, this was something that I was not entirely sure about, but the trigger stops actually have little switches. As you can see, these little green switches like right about here. So if you pull that down, my right trigger now has a trigger stop on it, as compared to when it's up, it goes all the way down. So nice little feature right there. If you just want to quickly throw on a trigger stop, you're more than welcome to do so. I haven't tested the functionality of it, but right there, it's working in game. We'll see how it works. The other thing I want to show, the D-pad, also a little bit different. I chose to go with the traditional Elite D-pad shape. There's also the Scuf D-pad shape, which is more of like a big, it's like another joystick basically. And then you can get a traditional D-pad, which came in the box. That also pops off. It's just like a magnet, pops off pretty easily, and then you can put whichever one you want on. So everything clicks on magnetically. It feels pretty safe and secure. It does feel like the thumbsticks would pop off if I just, smack the back of the controller. But when I'm playing, as long as I'm not like pushing up from underneath them, which even right now, as I'm intentionally doing so, the thumbsticks aren't going anywhere. I don't know what the switch in the middle is for. I'm pretty sure that you can have different presets like programmed into the controller if you want it to be one way and then switch it to another way. Maybe one button layout for Gears of War, one button layout for Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure that's what that's for, but don't quote me on that. That's what would make sense to me. The bottom of it, same as the other Scuf Elite, the Scuf Infinity controller. You have the headphone jack and you have the traditional Microsoft plugin for the chat mixer or keyboards or whatever you plug into the bottom of yours. So yeah, that is it. That is the main differences between the Scuf Infinity controller and the Scuf Elite controller. Right now, holding the two in my hands, I'm gonna choose this one. Now this does seem to be the more expensive controller, and this one definitely gives you more customization. Like you can get the actual OpTic themed controller. So I've always liked that, and I like the fact that I can get an OpTic controller in the Infinity, and I've used the Infinity I've used the this specific, well, that one sitting on my desk, but basically this same specific controller for about like 6 months. Before that, I used another Scuf controller. So I love these controllers, and they've always done well by me. In fact, I've even worn the paint off of the A button of this one because I use it so much. I don't know if you can see that because of the shine. You can see a little bit. Love that controller. So no complaints, absolutely love it, highly recommend it. I'm excited to see how this one holds up in an in-game test. And you guys will be able to see that. Like I said, if you subscribe to my channel, I will be doing a series where I teach myself gears using paddles. So stay tuned for that. Which one should you use? Well, this comes down to what you prefer. A lot of people want the lighter controller. They want to stick to the closest as they can to the original Xbox controller feel. So if that's what you're looking for, this controller is the way to go. This is the Scuf Infinity controller. And by the way, all the links for all these controllers will be in the description down below. So if you want easy access, just go down there and click the link. So yeah, if you want close to the original controller feel, take this one. While you're building the controller, you can customize all those things. If you want trigger stops, if you don't want trigger stops. Again, the trigger stops, very easy to take off. They actually have adjustments. It comes with a little tool. There's a little tiny hole. I don't know if I'll be able to show that on camera right there, that you can just adjust it to fine tune it, which you cannot do as far as I'm aware with this. So a little plus for this. I've never adjusted it. I've always just kept it default. But yeah, Infinity controller, Elite controller. I can't wait to play with the Elite controller. But both of these are great controllers. And the main purpose, as I've said in previous videos, the main purpose of playing with one of these controllers is basically the use of the paddles, which I haven't been doing with these paddles. And I completely plan on teaching myself with these paddles. And what that allows you to do is have more button input simultaneously, therefore inputting more commands into your game, and therefore in theory moving at a faster pace or completing more tasks at a faster pace. So for me, as a normal traditional thumbs player, if I want to slide or roll to a wall, I have to take my thumb off the joystick that moves me and hit the A button and then put it back, which is I have to be quick with it. Whereas people who use the paddles and have the A button mapped to one of their paddles never have to stop moving their thumbstick that moves them while hitting the paddles. I'm excited to see how this improves my gameplay. I'm excited to just, I don't know, just the weight of this controller just feels like it means serious business. It's hard to explain, guys. You have to get one for yourself to see what I mean. But I highly recommend all of these controllers. Shout out to Scuf Gaming for providing these controllers and making it possible, being an awesome sponsor of myself and OpTic Gaming. So again, links down in the description if you want one of those controllers or one of these controllers. Definitely highly recommend pick one up. They can definitely help improve your gameplay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed, and subscribe down below. As always, I appreciate the support, and I will see you all in the next video.